자꾸만 훑어보는 눈빛이 네 맘과 따로 노는 몸짓이 우스꽝스럽단 걸 왜 너만 몰라 새빨간 거는 같은 표정도 처음 척 빼뱉고 이 말투도 빛깔이 우원이 깊숙이 같이 날 열어 뭔가 틀렸다 느낄 땐 too late 분명히 후회만 남을 텐데 No sir, no sir, no 그때는 늦어
Channel, welcome back to the channel, whichever it is for you today. Oh my god, tongue tied. Why am I tongue tied? Well, I hope I'm not too tongue tied because there's gonna be a lot of talking with this. Oh my god, to say this is a long time coming, it's saying something else. This speaks, guys. When I tell you how busy I am with this channel, I'm busy with this channel. I am about to talk to a show. I'm about to talk about a show that I saw in January. It's nearly July. Anyway, there you go. Of course, guys, I'm talking about seeing Everglow live in London earlier this year in January. First time, obviously, seeing them live. Second K-pop group or artist I've ever seen live. Dreamcatcher was the first back in 2022. And, God, right, I got the set list in front of me to remind me of how the gig itself went. I'm going to talk about a few different things. I did do the meet and greet as well, and I have this, which is merch, which I'm not going to lie, I have not opened. I've had it since January. I have not opened it. I got to give myself some credit with that, guys. That takes some damn self-control. First off, I got to say though, this whole experience, the show, the meet and greet, is through the kindness of an incredible person. KPoppin Utah, who people don't know, is the whole reason why the Ultimate Everglow ranking is happening. If you wonder what that is, I'm doing a series on Everglow where I go from the beginning of their discography to their most recent, checking out all the songs one by one, give my thoughts on them, and then ranking them in my most favourite to least favourite. And I'm loving it. Even though I heard quite a few title tracks going in, there was a lot of, pretty much all the B-sides except one I'm not heard, and their B-sides are great. So, yeah, KPoppin Utah literally gifted me this whole experience. I can't thank him enough. So, Calvin, thank you so much, dude. And again, Calvin is the reason why the Ultimate Everglow ranking is happening too, which I'm loving. So, yeah, hugely generous, and I continue to thank him. I can't thank him enough for this experience. I do have one thing to talk about, to rant about, and it's not about Everglow. Let me say straight away, it's not about Everglow in any way. There's going to be tons of praise to Everglow in this video. But I'm going to have a bit of a rant. Allow me a bit of a rant, guys. I have been to loads of shows in my life. Loads of gigs across different genres of music. And very lucky to have seen some incredible bands, artists, groups, and everything like that, including what I'm going to talk about today. But I want to talk about something quickly to get out of the way, because I have to talk about it, because I did mention it to my Discord community when I came back from the show. Now, let me again preface by saying this didn't ruin the experience for me. I had to adapt, but I'll get into it. And it's going to be a bit ironic, because what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to play some clips from the show, in between some of the talking that I'm going to do here. I will be crediting the original clip from whoever posted it on YouTube. And there's a bit of irony to that, because I wouldn't be able to put this footage in if it wasn't filmed. However, I am going to have a bit of a rant on phones at concerts. Man, have I got my phone with me now? I'll use my wallet. So, here's the thing with me in filming when it comes to shows and stuff, guys. I don't have a problem, actually. I know, of course, there's rules and stuff where you shouldn't film at shows. A lot of people have their phones. Their phones can't be confiscated, so I get it. You can't take cameras and stuff like that in, but phones, people are going to film. I understand it. Here's the thing, though. I have no problem with people filming shows. I don't get it completely, to be honest. I understand it if you want a bit of a memento, if you want to film a little bit and everything like that, to watch it back on like the journey back or something like that, to be reminded. I completely understand that. Filming the whole show, okay. Again, you know, a lot of people may be able to enjoy it and everything like that. Again, I can understand people feeling a bit on the maybe on either side of the fence with that as well. What I don't get is people that, let's say that's the phone and the artists are on stage there. People watching the entire show while they're at the show through their phone. The artists are there, right in front of them, through their phone. I don't get that. That's not what this rant is completely about. That's just something I just don't understand. So again, I don't mean to offend any. I'm probably going to offend some people with this. You know, I mean it with all due respect, but I need to talk about this because I think it's important, and I can't be alone in thinking all this. So that's something which I just don't understand. Here's the issue, though, and I've built up to this a lot, I know, but here's the issue, and here's where I need to rant. I am absolutely fine with people filming on their phones at concerts, and let's say it's head height. Completely fine if it's head height or anything like that, or just lower than head height. You crack on, you know. At the Everglow show, one of my worst nightmares when it comes to going to live shows happened because people weren't filming like this. People were filming like that. Like that. Now, I'm 6'1". I'm a tall guy, right? I always have a thing that, you know, when I'm standing, and this doesn't necessarily mean anything when you're sitting on a balcony, or you're sitting elevated or anything like that, where you got a good view, right? I'm tall. I'll always look around if I'm standing to see if there's anybody around me, like behind me in particular, who's quite a bit shorter, and I'll offer them to go in front of me every time, right? Because I'd be frustrated if there was like a 7-foot person in front of me and like, you know, and all that. I'm tall. I had so much trouble and I was in a good spot, by the way. I was like 5th row, something like that. I was pretty close. I was in a good spot. And I was thinking when the show was starting, I was like, oh my God, I'm in a great spot here. And people were filming and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, you know, people are not going to probably go that crazy when it starts. They did. There were people at the front row. The front row with their phones. And I'm not talking for 10 seconds. Whole songs. Whole songs. Because what happens, guys, when that happens, especially at the front row, the person that also wants to film can't film like that, so they have to go like that. Right? They have to film to the left or something like that. And then the person behind can't see the person because of the front there, and then they can't see that, so they're going to go to the right. So the person behind those 3 people is literally watching the concert almost through phones, or they just can't see whatsoever. There was a lady to my right who, I'm not joking, I hear her talking with people in the queue. Yiren, of course, is Chinese. Everglow's member is Chinese. She flew from China to London to see this show, and she was watching the show, because she had no choice, through someone's phone. Because the person in front was like that. It's not right, guys. It's not right. It's people have paid so much. These K-pop shows are not cheap, by the way. People have paid so much money to go to these shows and to enjoy it. And you're seeing these incredible artists in front of you. And when it comes to Everglow, choreography, which I'm going to get into, by the way. Absolutely amazing choreography. And you're almost watching through someone's phone. So, like, again, there's a contradiction, I understand. I am going to show some footage here, which is from good spots, and they may have been from people who are doing this, right? To create this content. But there's still a way to do it like this, guys. And hopefully some of the people that I'm watching here didn't do this. Hopefully they did this. Now, again, I think filming a concert is fine. But please, guys, and again, people may be watching this who may be preaching to the choir who, you know, don't like this as much as I don't like it. Have a look around. Remember that you're not the only person enjoying this experience. There's people around you who you may be obstructing their view. You know, I just think about that lady who had flown from China to support Iran, and she was watching through a phone because she had no choice. It just made me really sad. So did that ruin the experience for me? Because you may be thinking because I'm doing a whole rant on it. Yes, it did. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. I was like 4 songs in, it was getting to the point where I was like, I can't believe I'm in row 5 and I can't see crap. It got to the point where it was frustrating me, but I was like, right, okay, what could I do here? So the venue it was at, which was the O2 Academy, which O2 Academy was it? Shepherd's Bush. I was like, do you know what? I can hear them well. I need to be able to see them well. You know, even though I'm in close proximity. I knew I was going to do the meet and greet anyway. But I was like, I need to adapt. So I adapted. So I headed to the bar. Not that I needed a drink that badly. I headed to the bar. And I had a lovely pint. And the bar was a bit elevated, so I had a great view of the show. And I just enjoyed the rest of the show. Don't get me wrong, the sound, I was still enjoying those first 4 songs, but I had to adapt because of what was going on with that. And again, I'm 6'1", guys, and I couldn't see. I just say, if you go to these shows, and it's just not just K-pop shows, it's not just Everglow shows, any music shows, or any shows in general, to be totally honest, if you're going to film, I just ask, not to film it with your wallet, but film it here. Whatever your height is, just film it there, please. Don't do this. Like, the fact that people at the front, and there was a guy at the front as well, not to call him out, I don't know his name or anything, and I wouldn't call him out by his name if I knew his name. He was around 6'4", 6'5". Guys, you know, just like, please be considerate about the people around you. So, right, rant over. Let's get into the show, and that's going to be the only negative thing that I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to talk about some crazy, great stuff that happened to you guys. So thank you for sticking around. If you stick around, I'm probably going to put like a timestamp in if you want to, you know, avoid that rant. But hopefully people watch that. And again, I don't mean to be confrontational or anything like that. It's just I need to say it because it's not right. You know, it's not right. Anyway, they started perfectly with First. Absolutely perfect with First. I want to talk about a little bit the queue as well before we get in. So the queue was hilarious because there was a guy who was he had a Bluetooth speaker and he was playing K-pop songs. And obviously you're in the queue for hours, right? And you're just playing K-pop songs and Everglow songs and people were singing around him. It was great. But yeah, get into that again. I'm like 5th row, 6th row, really good spot. And they start with First, which is perfect. First song of the show, First. Brilliant. They come on stage, and oh my god. It's a cliche to say, but it's just, it is what it is. If you think these absolutely stunning K-pop idols are beautiful on screen, and I'll get into this afterwards, big time, it does not do justice at all to how beautiful these people are in real life. And I know that's such a there's gonna be simping in this, by the way, guys. Oh my god, there's gonna be simping. Let me tell you, it's simpy, it's simpish. It's just the truth, though. It's just the truth. Absolutely, all of them, all 6 of them, gorgeous. I want to say something as well because they did say this during when they were talking in between. The few of them were ill, actually. A few of the ladies were ill. I think the person who was most ill, by the way of what they were talking, was EU. EU is tiny, by the way. Oh, she is tiny. And Yiren as well, absolutely tiny. EU in particular was not feeling well, which I give them massive credit for because they sounded great. And Everglow's choreography, if you're feeling incredibly you're healthy, to do their choreography and stuff like that is probably an effort. But they nailed it, and seeing their choreography live was absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. absolutely incredible. I want to say as well, even though I was let down a bit by the crowd when it came to the filming and the phones factor, they were great with sound. The crowd were really had loads of energy, and they were great with the ladies too, supporting them. It's just again the phone factor, but you know, energy-wise, fantastic. They went on to Slay then. Went on to Slay. They did. Slay is a song that, you know, I'll get to in the ranking. Still not there. Got a bit of catching up to get there. I've always said with Slay, I like Slay a lot. The bridge is unbelievable, and it was amazing live. Every song is going to be mostly amazing live and better live, guys, to be honest, but it was great live. And oh, that bridge in Slay is so good. Pirate was next. Pirate is a song, it's not one of my favourite title tracks from Everglow, but I do like it a lot. And again, much better live. Great energy to it. And then they did a lot of songs then that I'd not heard before. They did some covers. They did Unholy by Sam Smith, which is not a song I've heard before, which they did, it was EU and Mia doing a dance to it, which is incredible. Again, I think Mia wasn't feeling too well either. You never know. But like, honestly, the only... the two members to me that didn't seem too ill was Aisha, who, by the way... Oh man, I'm going to be talking about some crazy stuff with Aisha, which, trust me, I will be telling the truth when I say it. But Aisha was incredible with the crowd. Absolutely. One of the, like, as far as K-pop, granted I haven't seen too many K-pop groups yet, but as far as like a single idol, I've never seen, well, not to say I've never seen, there was another group I saw in January, well, there was another group I saw this year, which were amazing with the crowd as far as engagement. But Aisha, she was constantly engaging with the crowd. You know, she was constantly like eye contact with people, like engaging with people, interacting with people. You could tell how appreciative she was of the fans and everything. You know, she was incredible with, like, honestly, like as the others were talking, like the talks in between, it was like she was trying to like engage and interact with every single person that she could see, basically. You know, she was incredible with the crowd. And Onda is the other member as well, who didn't seem too ill, and Onda is so damn sweet. She was talking about her love for like Harry Potter and stuff, because of course being in London and everything, and she is so damn sweet, man. When she was talking in between, wrecked me quite a bit, to be totally honest. She's a sweetheart. And they were all lovely, don't get me wrong. But those two seem to be the only two who were sadly at their healthiest, I'll say. And then they did Shout Out to My Ex, which was Sion, Aisha, Iren, and Onda, unit stage and everything like that. So they tried to do, you know, some British covers and stuff. I don't know if they do these anyway, by the way, in other countries and stuff like that, but maybe it is coincidental that they did it in London, but still. And yeah, Don't Speak, Company, you know, songs I'd not heard yet, which was really cool. There were so many songs that they did, because I hadn't heard too much of the discography from Everglow going in. I checked out their biggest title tracks, most of their MVs, but other than that, I was hearing these songs for the first time, which was a crazy experience, you know, to hear these songs for the first time, seeing them live. Really, really cool. They did Dun Dun, which is a banger. Hush, Oh Mama God, Lovesick Girls. They did the medley, so it was Lovesick Girls, Fast Forward, 3D, and Tomboy, which, as an Idol fan and as a Blackpink fan, made me smile a lot. Moon, which is a song that I was like, when I heard Moon at this point is when I was at the bar, with my pint, just like seeing these incredibly talented, beautiful women dance and sing and stuff like that. And Moon came on and I was like, oh, what's this song? And I looked at the set list. It was one of those songs that I looked at the set list to find out what it was and everything. And then the only B-side I had heard going in was Untouchable, which I adore. And I didn't know where Untouchable lands as far as in the fandom. I don't know if it's like a successful B-side or popular B-side or wherever, right? But I was just like, when it started, I was like, I felt incredibly lucky. Like, I don't know, they may perform this all the time, but I felt so lucky. I was like, oh, I lost my head. That was the more than anything else. I lost my shoes, let's say. And then they did, to date, my favorite song from Everglow, which is La Di Da. The song that, even though first I was instantly impressed when I heard First for the first time, which was the first Everglow song I heard, yes, first option. La Di Da, if you know my taste in music, if you know how much I love synth, 80s, La Di Da blew my mind when I first heard it, and hearing it live, knowing how, again, I knew of course it was a loved song in their discography, but the fact that they did it near the end, I was like, oh, okay, I'm not alone. I'm not alone in thinking that this song absolutely slams, which it does. And then they did Adios, which is another great song, of course, another banger. That's the thing, man, I talk about with Everglow, like, they're bangers. That's why they were so good live, is that the sound system, the bass was incredible in Shepherd's Bush as well, I'll say that. The energy of the crowd, awesome. And their songs are just bangers, man. Like, when Everglow do bangers, my god. So that was the end of the show. 16 songs, if you include the dance covers and the covers that they did, which is a lot, considering again that they weren't feeling 100%, a lot of the members. Then they came back on for the encore, and they did Back Together, and then they finished with, I was like, what are they going to do for the encore? I was thinking, they've done La Di Da, they've done Adios, they've done Dun Dun, they've done First, and I was thinking, what could they do for the encore? And then they finished with, and this got a huge reaction from the crowd, they finished with Bombo Chocolat, which is one of the most fun titles to say in K-pop, in my opinion. And that was the show, guys, and I was like, again, even though I had that frustration to begin with, I adapted, and I had a blast, man. I had a blast. I'd highly recommend seeing them live. Honestly, guys, I'd highly recommend seeing them live. Incredible energy. Considering, again, that most of the members weren't feeling 100%. Awesome songs to experience in a live, like, amazing sound system in a venue. And absolutely unbelievable choreography. Like, unbelievable choreography and dancing. Like, honestly. So, that might have been the end of the night, right? But again, the amazing KPoppin Utah was incredibly generous, and I got some meet and greet stuff to do as well, which, this is where the fun begins, folks. So, the only time I've opened this, right? The only time I've opened this is to put something inside. I'm going to take that something that I'm talking about out for a moment, and I'll get to it in a second. So the show ends, and then what happens with meet and greets usually, I've had meet and greets before the show, I've had meet and greets after the show now. You queue again, they tell everybody who has like had a meet and greet package what sort of, you know, packages they've got. Some people go for certain things, some people may get them all. And you queue up in the venue. So basically in the crowd that you were in before, there's this queue that goes around like that. And props to the stewards of these things, by the way. It's very hard to organize and stuff and communicate to everyone. So in the Shepherd's Bush, there's a balcony as well, right? Which I would if I ever see Everglow again, I'd love to see them in a balcony, I think. To be in the balcony and everything like that. Because not only goes to the issue that I won't go back to, but the fact that you can just see all that choreography perfectly and everything, right? So we go upstairs to the balcony, and you know, everybody's getting a bit excited. Loads of people, by the way, like so many people got meet and greet. So many people. If I was to say the percentage of the audience that was there, I couldn't get a proper view of how many people were on the balcony from my position. I'd say 30% of the entire audience got meet and greet. Honestly. There was a lot of people there for meet and greet. So we go upstairs and we sit on the balcony. The balcony's emptied. We sit in seats in the balcony, and I think first, no pun intended, I chatted, by the way, to a lovely lady who is a huge K-pop fan. We talked about different K-pop and everything like that. I didn't get her name, sadly. She showed me a picture that I was incredibly jealous of with her with Xion from Dreamcatcher. Her with Hwasa from Mamamoo, and I was just like, the jealousy. But she was lovely, absolutely lovely. We were waiting then to get the group photos. So the group photo is going to be first, and with the group photos, it is basically you with 7 or 8 other fans, sat almost on, well, not almost, sat on seats in front of the group, and the group is standing behind you, and it's almost like a rugby team set up for a photograph. Do you know what I mean? So we're queuing up and everything like that, and it's like, oh no, I'm sorry, I forgot. It was the high touch first. So we did the high touch first, then we went back out, and then we were getting ready for the group photo. So the high touch was the first time I see these absolutely beautiful women, like close proximity and everything like that, right? So we do the high touch, and you can't see them around the corner. They made it so that when you're queuing up, you can't see them. So they got like, they kind of cordoned off a section in this like room upstairs. I said it earlier, I'll say it again. I can't stress how beautiful these women are, man. I can't stress. I think Mia was first. I'm remembering now I'm 6'1". So doing this high touch to them was brilliant with how tiny they are, except for Aisha. It might have been Aisha first, actually. And Aisha, by the way, who's my bias, for anybody that doesn't know, I probably should have said, my bias is Aisha. My wrecker is Xion. Iren a little bit too, though. But I love EU's raps as well. Like, there's a bit of wreck in their hands, but Aisha is without a doubt the bias. So, Aisha had... This is where the simping really begins, sorry guys. She had this, like... You've seen her in the footage that I've shown, I'm sure. Her hair was like purple. Now, if you know me, guys, purple hair, kryptonite. And I had no idea Aisha had purple hair going in. So when they came on stage for the show, I was just like, oh, I was speechless a lot of the time, to be totally honest. So yeah. We had the high touch. They were all absolutely beautiful. One thing to mention, all absolutely beautiful. Iren is strikingly beautiful in real life. Absolutely striking. She's stunning. Like and tiny. That was the thing when I was doing that. When I was doing the high touch with EU and Iren, they were all quite short, of course, except for Aisha. But Iren and EU in particular, I was like, oh my god, they are tiny. So we finished the high touch, guys. Like I said, we were going back to the balcony, then waiting for the group photos. And this was done pretty quick, to be fair. This was really well organized, I thought. The only thing is that there was so many of us that it was like, how long is this going to take? But other than that, I thought the stewards and stuff did a great job. Fair play. So we go back in now, and it's the group photo. I think it was the group photo. Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, it was the group photo. Which I will show on screen now. And you'll see the lady, by the way, next to me. I think she was to my right. I'll put an arrow if she wasn't, but I think she was to my right in the photograph. And again, it was sort of like that rugby team setup and everything like that. And we all sat down on the chairs, and who do I have behind me? Aisha, which is, you know, it is what it is, just luck of the draw. And then I feel this hand on my shoulder, and I look up at the side, and it's like, oh, that's Aisha, great. And like, because me and the lady, please, if you're watching this, by the way, please call yourself out and shout yourself out, so I know your name and everything. We were simping about Aisha big time. We're both Aisha biases. I think Aisha had her hand either on her shoulder or the gentleman to the right as well. And it was like, cool. And by the way, guys, I'm not like a celebrity worship guy, by the way, normally. But there's something about K-pop, dude, that it's simping, I think, more than anything else. But like, I'm not a hero worship guy, but simping, I'm a simper. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, the photographs turned out really well. We go back out, and now when we go, before we sit down, we get given a tiny piece of paper, and the tiny piece of paper, you open it up, and it has a name on it, and that name is the person that you're gonna have. And I knew this going in because I saw it as part of the great meet and greet package, by the way. You're gonna have a Polaroid one-on-one sort of, yeah, I think that's the way to say it. Polaroid one-on-one with one of the members. So we sit down, and they tell you can't swap. They tell you can't swap, right? So don't swap when you go to these shows, even though, you know, they say it in the fine print, don't swap. So we all sit down, and it was hilarious. It was almost like it turned into an auction. Where all these, like a few hundred people sitting down in this place in the balcony, and people were like with names like, I got a Honda for anyone like trying to swap. It's hilarious. I got Eden. I was thinking, sweet, awesome. But you know, I saw swapping happen, and there was this lady in front of me, incredibly kind, and God, thank you so much because without her, what's gonna happen next is not gonna happen next. And she was like, I got Aisha, and I was thinking, oh right, and I said I got Eden, and she was like, and I was like, swap. And we swapped, and I was just like, oh my God. And then it was hitting me then that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have a photograph with Aisha. Sweet. That lady that almost a year ago I was like, who is that lady in the vent in La Di Da? You guys know what I'm talking about. I don't even need to put the GIF up or anything. You guys know what I'm talking about when I say Aisha and vent. And he was like, cool. And I was just like, sweet. I'm trying to keep cool, as cool as I could be, but you know. So we go back into that room, and we're queuing and everything like that, and I'm probably going to show her on the screen, but I'll also show it to the camera in a second. So I sit down, and I'm like, hi, how are you doing? You know, to Aisha and everything like that, and she's like, hi. It's like, God, I'm a simp, but I can't help it. Oh, it's such a simp thing that I'm going to say, but guys, if you were there, you'd understand what I'm saying. One of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life. I know, but it is what it is. I'm sorry. Have you seen her? And like, I'm looking at her and I'm like, hi, how you doing? She's like, yeah, great. And she just, as you can see now, and I don't know how well this is going to show. Don't worry, guys, I will be... Oh, it's really... What is it trying to focus on? I will put it up on the screen too. There you go. And she just wrapped her arms around me. And I was like, sweet. And I gave her a hug. And we hugged. And I hugged Aisha. My bias. The lady in the vent. And, you know, we smiled and everything like that, as you could see. I'll keep that on the screen for science, by the way, guys. And then the photograph finished, and this is where I promise you guys what I'm about to say next. And I talked a lot about this with my Discord community. Anytime Aisha is mentioned in my Discord server, I post the photograph because I just want to be reminded that it actually happened. But here's something I haven't told anybody yet. So after the photo's taken, Aisha's like, she, again, incredibly appreciative of the fans and stuff, right? She's like, oh, thank you. Good English, by the way. Don't know what her English is like, but really good English. And she was like, oh, thank you so much for coming and everything like that. And you know, she's like, she's wanting to give me another high five, so I give her another high five and stuff like that. And I tell her, I say, listen, I hope you have the best tour, and thank you so much for the show. And she's like, oh, thank you, you know, and everything like that. And I get up and I walk away, and the photographer's right next to it, and they're talking about something. And she says, I promise you guys. Now, a squirrel might have come into the room and just ran off without me looking, even though we were in a building and it was quite into the center of the building. A squirrel might have come in, the cutest squirrel you ever seen in your life. But as I stood up, and just after the photo, Aisha said, "Kyo," which I believe is cute in Korean. I promise you guys, she said it. She said it. Again, a cartoon squirrel might have come into the room, and she was talking about the cartoon squirrel, but she said cute. I'm just saying. Which, by the way, I was not looking cute on that day, but maybe she's talking about the interaction and everything like that. But she said cute. So I'm going to take that. I'm sorry. I'm going to take that as Aisha called me cute. Just saying. Timing and everything. Anyway. So I look back at her and I give her a wave, and she gives me a wave back. And I get given the Polaroid. And oh my god, the nerves. And I was talking to this with the lady that I was talking to a lot. I really hope anybody that got a Polaroid at these shows, and this goes for other groups and artists as well, where you do these meet and greets, the nerves that it doesn't come out right for a Polaroid, because some Polaroids don't come out right, and you can't go back. Like, it's quite quick fire, these meet and greets, guys. Like, quite quick fire. You can't go back. And my Polaroid didn't come out until I left the building, and it came out really well. I was really lucky, but oh my god, I can't think what it would be like if you have this lovely photograph with you know, someone you're a fan of. You have one opportunity and it doesn't come out right. It's like, man. But yeah, thank you, KPoppin Utah. Thank you, KPoppin Utah. And I got on the train and I showed my Discord server. I said, get a load of this, and they couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe it. Even people who are not so much Everglow fans, they knew how cool it was for me. But they were all lovely. But man, if Aisha wasn't the bias before, guys, she was lovely as well. She was so nice. So nice. And again, one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life. Now finally, it's time to unbox this. I've waited long enough, so let's see what we got here. Nice. So this is a ticket. Really cool looking ticket and everything like that, which I didn't need to use, by the way. Of course, for anybody that doesn't know, mostly everything's done now with codes on phones when it comes to tickets, where they scan your code and everything. But that's a really nice looking ticket, which I'm probably going to put in the back. Really nice design. There's a booklet of some kind. Oh, sweet. Right, okay, so this is the ladies are giving messages, and they are in English too, so let's read these out. EU, forever, every moment spent with you is a precious gift. We are grateful for your love and will continue to create more joyful moments together. Love you forever. Lovely stuff. And I hope she's got well since. She probably has, since it was 5 or 6 months ago. Sion, without forever, there is no Everglow. Thank you for being us. We hope our music brings you happiness and joy. Love you. Mia, just as Forever waited for us, we missed Forever so much too. Let's make unforgettable memories together. Onda, Forever, every moment spent with you is special and meaningful. The moments we've shared together, a precious gift to us. Love you forever. Aisha, in like big bold capital letters, by the way. I missed Forever. Thank you so much for coming to today's performance. I will always remember today. Please get home safely. And I also said to her as well, I said, keep safe, you know, and everything like that, which she seemed to appreciate. Again, good English. I didn't know what... I took a risk talking to Aisha in English as much as I did, but I don't know. Seems pretty good at it. And then Yiren. As precious forever... I really hope that Chinese lady got to see Yiren, by the way. As precious forever, who have been waiting for this tour for a long time. I hope today's memories stay with us for a long time. Today, we truly have a fantastic time. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. And again, Yiren, striking. Guys, striking. Now, I've left this to last, because I got a feeling I know what this is. Right? I think we know what this might be. So... Oh wow, okay. So these are, again, I'm not going to look at the photo cards because I'm going to reveal them to the camera before. These are meet and greet event photo cards. So that's Yiren. Always need to try and find a sweet spot with that. Blonde Yiren as well. I think I'm doing this in backwards age order. Yeah, I think I am. Oh, God. It was a good day, guys. It was a good day. So next, Onda. Because I'm doing this backwards. Yep. In age. Backwards in age, I mean. And again, Onda, guys, was so sweet. So sweet with the crowd. Oh my god, she was lovely. And when we were doing the high touch as well, it was smile. Such a bright smile. EU. I've said it before, guys. EU's rap verse in the second verse of First is one of my favourite rap sections in a K-pop girl group song. Without a doubt. The wrecker, who's definitely a wrecker, by the way. Xion. Xion did quite a bit of talking, by the way. I think Xion's got quite good English. Like, she seemed to be the one talking the most, from what I gathered, to the crowd. That's you. Mia. It wasn't. Sorry, guys. I completely got it wrong. This is Mia. It even says on the back. It even says on the back, why did I think that was a you? Why did I think that was a you? Why did I think that was a you? That's a you. It's a long day, guys. It's a long day. So yeah, awesome stuff. Really nice package given too, by the way. Love how it was presented in the wallet. But now I can finally put this at the back there. So if you guys see that there's a random Polaroid, you know where it is. Incredible day. Awesome day. Had a blast. And again, KPoppin Utah. Dude, your generosity, I'm incredibly lucky. I'm incredibly lucky with it. So thank you so much. So yeah, guys. 5 months in the making. Hope you guys enjoyed it a little bit. And yeah, some bottom lines. Be sensible with the phones at gigs. Go see Everglow live. Go see Everglow live. And support Everglow because they deserve more and more and more success. And they are absolutely lovely. And oh my god, I can't stress how absolutely gorgeous they are in person. But yeah, thank you so much, KPoppin Utah, and thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day, or afternoon, night. I got hiccups. Whenever you're watching this, please take care. Much love.